Hello, and welcome to another day of TA the Degen way. I just wanted to do a video update on the two new charts we posted today for another two crypto tokens that were big bear market movers. What do I mean by that? When price bottomed in December, since then, everything has taken one rip. And everything is pretty much taken one pullback. Well, what assets ripped the most off the bottom? What had the largest pumps? I mean, that tells us what we would expect has the most market participants and support, and they typically tend to be the ones that in the bull cycle do the best. They're the ones that had the most support in the bear cycle, so I've chosen two more. We've got FET and XEN. I've been bullish on XEN for a long time based off of the fundamentals behind it and the founder, who's a former Google engineer and kind of following the Google model of give them what they want for free. People wanted to search on the internet for free, and when you have the users, well, monetize them. Users have money. So that's XEN. You mint XEN for a gas fee. You'll have to look it up yourself, but it does have a lot of following behind it for a good reason. I've posted a lot of bullish charts of XEN. As you can see, it's put in a new all-time low. It's extremely difficult to chart and forecast because there's a lot of minting, which is inflation. So the supply is increasing for now, but even though supply, has been increasing this whole time, just like Bitcoin or anything else, the supply is growing. We still seen a massive pump. And then we got FET. The narrative behind FET is pretty much self-explanatory, but both of these pumped about 1,000%. Why don't we hop into XEN first? And by XEN, I mean XEN. I know there's a couple XENs out there, but so here we got the daily. I'm looking at it on Gate. Now this chart you'll find on CryptoFile 622. If you stick around to the end, we'll do an update on Bitcoin and some of these other trades that have been posted on this trading view in the last week. Been short for months. Well, that worked out. And reversed on, about a week ago. And posted 13 to 15 bullish trades that thus far have a win rate of 100%. And stop losses are at entry already with some profit booked. For 75% of those trades to run to the take profit levels marked or a serious high time frame trend exhaustion. We can talk about why those trades, would work out at a different point in time, but right now we're looking for big bear market movers. Yesterday for big bear market movers, we looked at CFX, a few thousand, 2,000%, We looked at Injective, did 730%. And for two more big bear market movers, these are ones that I would consider, taking a decent hold on because they'll probably rip. We got XEN and FET. So let's hop in here and look at XEN. What am I seeing on XEN that would give me any idea that it might be bullish? Because I have one chart. If you look back, you'll see this bottom was called pretty much to the day, and then we pumped 1,300%. Bitcoin pumped 100. A lot of other tokens pumped 100, maybe 300. Like Solana, big mover, pumped 300%. That's some small amount. That's a huge gain. Well, this pumped 1,300. CFX pumped 2,000 some percent. 10x, 20x, Injective, 7x at 700 and some odd percent. So the video from yesterday was the two charts, Conflux and Injective. Today we're looking at XEN. What do we see? Well, This one is pretty hard to forecast, but we have no idea, about minting and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how much people are minting. What matters is, when do people want to stop selling? Well, if the crypto market as a whole reverses, which is kind of, what I'm expecting until at least mid-October, and then we'll see. Either we get a full-on reversal back to the downside, or we get just a serious pullback and cool off. I mean, if we get a serious pullback and cool off, and that's it, this market probably moving up. I mean, mid-October, when this high time frame is kind of getting up there on Bitcoin, if we start busting back down hard to the downside, well, then we can start talking about a much longer, serious bear market. But here I see time and price are square. You can see this trend. We're trending sideways, and you can see the rate of change versus time. Here is about the apex of that curve. Time and price are square. The trend should change. Hopefully into an uptrend. Here time and price were square too. See the roundness, it flattens off, and what happened? Well, it continued to the downside. Here time and price were square. Boom. 1,000% rip to the upside. But now we have the high time frame on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a bunch of the other major market cap coins looking like they may move to the upside, or I guess we're just all screwed if we don't move to the upside with what's going on the chart. I mean, there's some serious issues up there. But here we got time and price is square, momentum curving over deep down. We got money flow deep in the red, and we're starting to get a little bit of divergence on the money flow. Price is going lower from here to here. Money flow is getting just a little higher, and just the general market as a whole. When the tide rises, all ships go up with it, and that would get people to stop wanting to sell. Plus, a lot of people minted this stuff and are super bullish on it long term. So for targets, I mean, if we just take, this last support resistance area, that is quite a ways up there. If we take the last real liquidity level, that's 375%. If we go up to the 618 of the entire swing, up here we got the 200 EMA in the same spot. So we got this was an accumulation zone where, I even considered taking on some purchased Zen myself. I took a small amount, but not very much. Most of it's minted, like most people's, but this was a nice long accumulation zone. What did we get? Pretty much a measured move. If we measure this distance down, it's going to be pretty equal to this distance down. And look at this curvature in the price action. See this nice curve. Why does this curvature matters? This is telling you that it's dropping less in percentage of value versus time. It's taking longer to lose more value. The trend is exhausting. It's rounding over. When time and price are square, well, that is when supply and demand are equal. Here's curvature to the downside. Then you can follow the curvature on this big swing. You would expect the bottom to be right in around here. The weekly is showing it's ready. For targets, we swing high, swing low. Take the fib tool with the numbers going up. The 618 is corresponding with the this last unbroken high up here. And the 618, the 200 EMA, all pretty much line up. But being this had a 1,300% with serious inflation from minting and everything else dumping, I consider it to be a big bear market mover, and we'll probably do it again. This is just a retrace trade, I keep scrolling down here. And who knows how far price could go. This is just a retrace, Well, there's room. There's room. So there's Zen. It's been a while since we looked at that. And then we got FET. I don't know a lot about FET, but a lot of other people do, and they've chosen to make it another big bear market mover, 1,050%. Now let's look at the price action. Got a nice reverse head and shoulders building. If we consider a measured move, this swing low to this swing high, you get the pullback for a B, C move. This measured move brings us up to about $1.80 or so. But we can just consider just our current swing, our pullback here. We got swing high, swing low. Look at the curvature of this price action. You can see from this wick low, and when time and price are square, the trend will change. And what do we got here? That's what's happening. You got a trend line, and why does a break of trend work to trade with? Well, it's because the momentum of the swing down is losing momentum, and it starts to turn sideways. Breaks trend, and once it breaks trend, people get bullish on it, and it moves. That's because the rate of change in value of time versus price has exhausted. It has slowed. Double bottom looks bullish, and this is a weekly high time frame. I don't have the momentum oscillator on here, but it's relatively new, so we're not looking at some long period of time. But you got the double bottom, got the break of trend. Could get a ABC right here, pulling us up to TP1, which is 48%, which is the 50% retrace of this swing high to this swing low. Now this trade, the stop loss and validation area was down here. I've already got stop loss to entry on this, and close 25% of that for the rest to run and ride to TP1, close some more, TP2, close some more, and leave a little moonbag portion open for a full measured move. Or if we consider this reverse head and shoulders, target for that is way up there. So what do we got for these targets? What gives us any confluence for them? Well, one, the bear market pump was 1,050% instead of 100% or 300%, like most. This moved more. Same reason we looked at Injective, Conflux, and Zen. They all moved, pretty heavily. All of them over 1,000. That's a 10x. Conflux 20x. If you're ever going to get 100x on a token, it has to do a 10x first. Doing a 10x, 20x on the first bear market pump is a pretty darn good sign that you got some pressure to push the price up. But just looking at the retrace, so it's like we pumped off the bottom and we're looking for A, B, C for a measured move. This is the trading range. You look for that pull back 50% of the way. When we look at this swing high, swing low, we pulled our fib retrace here. This is a 50% pullback. And then price rounded over. It's nice and square. Double bottom. Cracked the 200 EMA and broke this trend, trending sideways. But now we need to push through and continue on. That's the question. So is it a worthy spot for taking a swing at it? I would venture to say yes. This is the spot where you would want to build a position, but at the same time, not be sad if it breaks down and gets stopped out, because that means we're going down much, much lower. And you can always catch the retrace and short it. This is the one time where stop loss would be small and reasonable. Good clear and validation area below these lows. It just depends how much risk you want to take on. But target 1, 48%. Target 2 is just the 786 retrace. So here we're looking at this swing high to swing low, TP1 is only a 50% retrace of this. You can see it's the past support level flipped into resistance. May front run this, maybe 125 or something. But you got a good, 40-50%. TP2 is the 78.6 retrace level, which I don't think there's anything special about the fib level, but it is coming out right at the top of this range. No, said no, said no, rejection, came back up, said no, came back up, said no. This area right here is a liquidity level. Price hasn't been able to push through it. So closing there, hey, there's, price comes up here, it'll probably, pull back, and then if there's some still enough buy pressure and sell pressure is truly depleted enough, it'll pull back, and that's how you get a reverse head and shoulders. It'll push on up. So the full measured move, so there's TP2, where now we'd be just letting, some ride, moving the stop loss up. See a potential high right in about this time. And the chart didn't capture when that is. So you'd have to pull that into your trading view, use the make it mine, and see what that date actually is. I'm not sure. You can always just come back and hit the play button and see it on here also. But the measured move, 768%. It's pretty good. 7x, just for the measured move. And the measured move, you probably pull back and retest this high and possibly continue on to your reverse head and shoulders target, which you can see from right here. I'm not much into the pattern trading and stuff, but there's a legitimate reason that this forms on your chart. Ooh, people were bullish, pushed the price up, but still too much sell pressure. People got bearish, price came down and found real support. Price pushed back up into the same sell pressure, but this time when it comes back down, it found real support, and there's new open interest, new buyers coming in, so price doesn't make it back down for a lower low. Comes back up at the same level for a run at it again, and after pecking away at it, people see this pattern, well, then it busts through. It's telling you how the money's flowing through the market. So there's FET, already did 10x, pulled back 50% of the way, which means, there's some good gains to be had on these if the market moves up. These ones that bounce the hardest in the bear market, the big bear market movers, are the ones that tend to move the most in the bull market. If it did a 10x off the bottom, imagine what it does when the market goes parabolic. It most likely will move. Well, so we do an update on the Bitcoin price. I would imagine it has pulled back, which is what I've seen earlier, and would expect. This is a daily chart here, so what, we went up for 3 days, 4 days straight. Of course, we would expect to pull back, and here's kind of what I was looking at myself. This is the daily. What do you got here? Time and price are square. It's rounded over. This uptrend is exhausted. So you'd expect a pullback, First pullback target I was looking at was 26,685, and it looks like we tapped that today pretty much to the dollar. The low is 26,685.93. This was posted this morning in the Discord. We might pull back a little farther. Who knows? Maybe we pull back even farther. And that's okay, because out of all the trades that were taken here, every single one of these, going back to 9/22, I believe, have been to the long side. Here we go. But, here, Bitcoin getting weak already. Here I showed some bullish price action, but got worried about it pretty much the next day. And then the next day, I mean, what happened? We have bullish price action right here on the 19th. I posted this. That was bullish. We broke out of this. And then what made me turn and flip macro bullish, well, midterm bullish, at least till the middle of October, when this pulled back. See here, oh, it's getting weak already, you know. I figured we were probably going to come on down and just reject. Well, that's not what happened. We just pulled back and then moved up. You know, instead of when the momentum rolled over and the trend was exhausted, did we come down and put in lower lows? You know, is that where the power is? Is it to the downside, or is it just a cool off pullback? And then momentum has time to roll back to the upside and price pushes on. Well, that's what happened, and look what you got the next day. You have somebody who changed their mind. If you don't change your mind when the market changes, it's going to move on without you, because it could care less what I think, what you think, what anybody thinks. And I'm not saying that, you know, we're going to just push on up and keep on going. But I'm just as open to pushing on when the trend's moving to the upside. I'm going to plot it out as far as I think it can go, and we'll just check it each step of the way. And when it pulls back, is it pulling back seriously with, you know, and by the time the momentum on the oscillators gets back down to the bottom and starts to curve back to the upside, is price still in pullback territory, or is it in lower low territory? That's the reversal. You know, that's where it's at. Okay, now the trend is exhausted. Let's flip back to the bear side. If that happens at 30K, you know, maybe it happens at, you know, 27K. You know, maybe that's what happens right now. Maybe it happens at 48K. We'll see. We'll see. But each one of these trades, so since here, well, then we start looking for long trades at DOT. Let's hit the play button. You know, it's push to the upside. Stop loss entry. Now, if price wants to pull back, with a little bit of profit booked, you know, so what? No loss. AVAX. Hit the play button. Oh. This here pushed up to the resistance, came a little bit short of our take profit level, but I like to take 25% profit very quick, you know, especially with 10-20x leverage on it. You know, breaking this range, take 25% of the trade out, move your stop loss to entry. Now it's all house money. You know, catching the bottom, a big move for the reasons posted in these charts. Every one of these trades, I'm doing constant updates on the progress of where I think a lot of this stuff is at. You know, is there a reason that we should hop out of this or not, or what, in the Discord? And I suggest you join us. There should be a link in the description. I'm not going to go through all of these, but if you jump on Crypto File 622 out of the 13 trades posted, every single one of those has profits been taken, stop loss to entry, risk free, from here on to the rest of these targets. And I'm sure some of them will get stopped out, and some of them maybe they won't. But what do we got on this list? I mean, as we're pulling back now, it's probably the point a person would want to re-enter, as we're getting back close to the original entries if they got missed. While the stop loss is small, we got DOT, AVAX, XLM, ADA, XRP, Theta, Doge, Injective, Conflux, Uni, Ethereum. Then we did the Injective and Conflux, kind of a special little series, we'll say, yesterday and today for the big bear market movers, with a little bit higher time frame, longer outlook. Bitcoin, what do I see? I see a little bit of cool off, see a pullback, and hopefully we don't break any lows, and we'll do an update on it tomorrow or soon enough. Jump in that Discord. That's where the updates are posted. But if you like the material, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Helps out the channel. And until next time, trade well.